Next, we're going to look at a general trinomial when a does not equal 1. So a, in this case, is 6. I like to call this method the AC method because I'm going to take the first term, which is 6x squared, and this negative 3. I'm going to multiply them together. So 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. I need to come up with all the factors of 18 now. So 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. The negative really doesn't matter when trying to find the factors. So now, from these factors, I'm looking for the ones that will add to a positive 7, which will be a positive 9 and negative 2. If I take a positive 9 times a negative 2, that also gets me negative 18. So those are the factors that I want. What I'm going to do with those factors is I'm going to split my middle term and rewrite my original as 6x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 3. So all I did was rewrote this 7x as negative 2x plus 9x using my factors that I came up with. Now we're actually going to do some factoring. We're going to use a method called factor by grouping. So I'm going to group the first two together, which is 6x squared and negative 2x, and group the last two, which are 9x minus 3. And I'm going to factor by grouping. So I want to pull out the greatest common factor between 6x squared and a negative 2x, which in this case is 2x. If I take out a 2x, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And if I pull out 1x, I'm left with just an x. Minus, if I take all of 2x out, I'm left with a 1. Plus, greatest common factor between 9x and 3 is 3. If I take out a 3, 9x divided by 3 is 3x, and negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. Now, if you notice inside the parentheses, they're exactly the same thing, which is a good thing for us. So now I'm going to factor out my 3x minus 1. When I factor out a 3x minus 1 from my first term, I'm left with 2x. And when I factor out 3x minus 1 from the second, I'm left with positive 3. And that's how you're going to factor when a is not equal to 1. I got one more for us. We can try this one as well. It's going to be similar though. So I'm first going to multiply 3 times 32, which is going to get us 96. We're going to find all the factors of 96, or at least until we get up to a positive 28x, which in this case, 1 and 96. 2, if I take 96 divided by 2, that's going to get us 48. That still didn't work. 3 gets us to 32. Well, that didn't quite work. I mean, it could, but not quite. Let's go on to the next one. Let's try 4. If we do 4, 96 divided by 4 is going to get us 24. And this one I like. I can take positive 4 and a positive 24 to get me a positive 28. And if I multiply 4 times 24, it also gets me 96, positive 96, which is what we want. So those are the factors that I'm going to use. I'm going to split my middle term using them. So 3x squared plus, I'm going to go 24x first. It doesn't matter. Oops, you could go either a plus 4x then plus 24x or plus 24x then 4x. And now we're going to factor by grouping again. So between my first two and my last two, the greatest common factor between 3x squared and 24x is going to be 3x, leaving me with x plus 8. And my greatest common factor between 4x and 32 over here is going to be 4, leaving me with x plus 8 again. I notice x plus 8 is in both parentheses, so now I'm going to factor again. I'm going to take out x plus 8. And when I take out x plus 8, I'm left with 3x plus 4, which represents my factorization.